guys, so for today's video I have a really exciting video for you guys. I'm going to be doing a first impression on the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This is what the bottle looks like. Now let me just say, this is like a super luxurious foundation. Like the bottle itself just feels super like expensive. It's really heavy and you have the really pretty, like the packaging is just gorgeous. The only bad thing about the packaging is that it of course doesn't have a pump, but I mean the packaging is just so pretty. So I did try this for the first time on camera with you guys today and I did a demo. If you're interested in seeing the demo, then just stay tuned. But this foundation is really expensive. It retails for I think like $40 to $50. I don't know the exact amount because I did buy this online, so I paid like shipping and all that stuff included. But you can get this at Sephora, any like department stores like Nordstrom or the Bay or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of talk about the claims of this foundation and then talk about how I felt that it applied and if I feel like it lives up to the claims. Now I got mine in the shade 1 and 2 and it actually matches me perfectly. It comes with 1 fluid ounce and the box actually says that this is for all skin types, so whether you're dry, oily, and I actually feel like that's true just because the way that this formula is, I mentioned it in the demo and I'll say it again, I feel like the formula is really like light and really thin, which would be great for dry skin, but at the same time it has a little bit of thickness to it, so I feel like it's still good for us oily skin girls and it's still gonna hold up. So I definitely feel like this foundation would be for all skin types. I also felt that it gave a dewy finish, so I feel like if you're oily skin you would still be able to wear this foundation regardless if it's dewy or not, because like I said, it still has a little bit of that thickness kind of texture to stay in place and kind of hold your oils. So it also says that this has 15-hour staying power. I don't really know that yet because it is a first impression, but as always with all my first impressions, I will leave a update little blurb down below to let you guys know how I feel about it tomorrow and how it kind of wore throughout the day. It says that this foundation looks fresh and flawless. I really feel like it does. It gives you this really gorgeous, fresh, flawless finish. It also says that it stays through the heat, humidity, non-stop activity, won't change color, smudge, or come off on clothes. Lightweight and so comfortable, you won't believe it's long wear. I feel like it has a really lightweight, nice texture to it. I definitely think that this foundation is also really buildable. It definitely just has a medium coverage, but if you want it to be full, you could probably do a second layer and it probably wouldn't really get that cakey. Won't clog pores, oil controlling, oil free, fragrance free, dermatologist tested. So I did mention this in the demo. I think that I feel like this is a actual really good alternative to my Kat Von D for the summer. I really like my Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo foundation just because it really makes you honestly look like a porcelain flawless doll. But however, I don't like wearing that foundation in the summer just because it's a tiny bit, like a little bit heavy, and when it comes to summer, not only is it heavy but it also has a matte finish, and when it comes to summer I really like to have dewy, lightweight foundations, and I feel like this still gives me that porcelain, like flawless looking face while giving me a dewiness and a lightweight feeling. So I feel like this is kind of like my summer Kat Von D foundation. So I actually really enjoyed how this applied on my face. Like I said, I felt like it was really lightweight but still has a little bit of that thickness to it. It definitely is a liquid, not like a liquid moussey. That is how the 1 and 2 shade looks. It's really close to my natural skin tone, so I feel like this was a perfect match for me, which I'm super lucky because I did pick it out online. Now I'm not 100% sure how this foundation transfers, but I have a tissue with me and I'm actually just going to pat my face and see if anything comes off for you guys. But when I just pat it, nothing really comes off, but if I kind of just put a little bit more pressure and rub a little bit, actually still nothing comes off. So I feel like this has a pretty good chance of being kind of transfer free, but like I said, since this is a first impression, I'll have to kind of let you guys know down below how I feel it wears throughout the day and if I feel like it's transfer free or not. So I'll definitely let you guys know my thoughts on that down below. So if you're interested in knowing more about the transferness and kind of the long wearingness, then check out my description box down below. I feel like this is kind of a really special foundation and I actually really enjoy it so far. So yeah, that is pretty much it for my thoughts. I think I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys watch the demo just so you guys can actually see how it applies and what I'm talking about when it makes your face look super flawless when you just first apply it. But yeah, if you want to check out the demo of how this foundation applies and everything, then just stay tuned and I'll go ahead and play that for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and try it out for the first time. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use my Sigma F80 as always. So I did get the color N12. I'm just going to go ahead, put some on my fingers. So what I can tell from this foundation is that it's super runny. But unlike other runny foundations, this isn't a thin feeling foundation. I mean, it's not thick feeling at all, but it isn't like super thin feeling, which I like because I feel like that's going to give me a little bit more of a longer wear since I have oily skin. When I use thin foundations, I mean, they feel great in the summertime, but they don't really stay long on my face just because my oils eat it up. So I'm kind of glad that this isn't like super thin. I can tell that this foundation is really lightweight feeling, like it doesn't feel heavy on the face, and it actually does cover up a good amount. I did have like a little scar pimple thing there and it covered up like pretty well. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I would definitely say this is a medium to full buildable foundation. I also didn't prime before I put this on, by the way. I usually don't prime my face anyway. So I'm not sure if it's just me, but this foundation seems super dewy. I'm not really sure now that I'm thinking about it what other people said that the finish is of this foundation. What finish does it claim to be? So this foundation doesn't really have a certain claim of a finish. It just says that it looks fresh and flawless, which I will say that it looks fresh just because to me fresh means like slightly dewy, and it does have that dewiness. You can see that I'm really shiny on the cheekbone. I absolutely love this foundation. I feel like it's pretty lightweight for the coverage that I get. Usually when you have a medium to buildable foundation, it's a little bit thicker in consistency, but this is kind of like a thin, thick consistency. I don't feel like this is super thick, but I also don't feel like this is super thin. Really loving the finish it gives to my skin. I feel like it just makes me look kind of like an airbrushed doll. I'm actually falling in love with this. I feel like this is kind of like a more dewier version of my Kat Von D Lock and Tattoo foundation. Like when you just want that like porcelain doll flawless finish, I go for my Kat Von D, and I feel like I would go for this instead of my Kat Von D for days when I want a little bit of dewiness for the summer and a little bit more lightweight. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back just to kind of sum up my thoughts for you guys. Alright, so just to sum up my thoughts about this foundation, I feel like it lives up to the claims of being really lightweight and comfortable feeling. I feel like it's a really comfortable foundation. Like I have it on right now and I don't really know how to explain it. It just feels comfortable. Like I don't feel like I have foundation on, but I feel like this would be really good for those of us with oily skin because you can still get a comfortable wear without having too thick of a foundation. Because I know when you have oily skin, we always want thicker foundations because that's what's going to kind of hold up on our skin and on our oils. But it seems like this one kind of has a little bit of that thickness for us, but it still feels super comfortable and lightweight. So I actually really think this is like a gem, and I'm really liking it. But yeah, that is pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, just leave them down below for me, and I will also be leaving an update little blurb in the description box as always with kind of like my updates on how this foundation wore. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll of course see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.